Hey residents of Meepletown, today we are in Burano, which is an island in Venice, Italy. Do you know what Burano is famous for, John?
No, I do not.
They're
Walking
famous.
in Burano. Have you heard that song before?
No, that's not a song. You just made it up. Burano is known for their colorful houses, and today we're going to be walking in Burano, or actually people are going to be walking in Burano. We're going to be building up houses. So let's get to the table and check out walking in Burano. All right, here is the setup for walking in Burano. Now, we each have our own little area where we're going to be building up 5 houses. We actually don't have enough room to do that, but since we're not playing through the full game, we'll just give you an idea. We have 2 scaffolding cards, which will let us build up if we want to do that. Now, what we're going to do first off is we're going to acquire 1, 2, 3 cards, and when we do that, we're going to have to take them from the same column, and you're gonna have to start from the top and work your way in, or from the bottom and work your way in. You can't just take a middle card. So I can now. I'll be the first player with the kitty cat.
Dude, I was legit about to say. A tear was forming in my eye, thinking, Dean, you're allowing me to be the first.
Just kidding. No,
take the stupid cat.
Okay, all right. I'll take the cat.
I don't even want the cat.
So what you would do is you would either take all 3 cards and take 0 money, or you would take 1 card and 2 coins, or 2 cards and 1 coin. So I'm just going to take these 2 cards, and I'm not going to place them yet, and I'll take 1 coin, and then John will draft.
Yep.
Lesser cards.
Thanks for leaving me with a bunch of greatness. All right, so I'm just going to take this 1 for now so that I can grab a couple coins. Let's see what happens.
All right. So then after we take those, we're going to have an opportunity to build these cards. And the rules for building, I'm not going to go through like all the lengthy building rules, but they would be just as you imagine. Like I can't just put this middle piece out in the middle of nowhere.
Hanging in midair.
I could build it, that's right. I could build it with scaffolding there, and I could build a roof on top of that. And you also have to have different colored buildings next to each other. And you have to put the same color in the same building that you're building. If you want to break those rules, you can get rid of a 3-point token. That just means you'll lose 3 points at the end of the game, but you can break those rules. So I'm going to place 2, which will cost me 3.
I placed 1 that cost me 1.
All right, that's right. So placing your first one is 1, then the 2 after that, you can build up to 3, will cost 2 more coins to build.
All right.
And then we would look to see if we've completed a building to take a scoring card. Obviously, we have not.
That's not happened.
So.
All right, so this is a variant to get rid of this last row, correct?
That's correct, yeah.
And we like that variant.
That's right. In a 2-player game, the variant is to remove that last column, and then you're just going to slide everything all the way over, put out new cards to fill up. It's enough to have 3 more columns. Don't worry, I'll get this one.
Thank you, sir.
And then John gets the kitty cat first player token.
Okay, I'm going to...
Sorry, it looks awful.
I'm going to take these 2, and I'll get 1 coin for that.
All right. I'm already kind of setting myself up in a bad spot. You might be wondering, why are you building these buildings? It's to get the scoring cards, and we're not going to go over all the scoring because there's a lot of ways that you can score, but I'll explain a few things in just a minute. So I'm going to take 1 card and take 2 coins.
And so you do not have to build these either. So I'm going to keep 1 of these because I'm not sure when I'm going to place that. I could use 2 scaffolding to go ahead and put a roof there, but let's just see what happens. No harm in waiting. So I am going to place 1 for 1 coin. Okay.
All right. I will also place 1 for 1 coin and put this here. Now, one thing you want to be aware of, and I'll just put the scaffolding over here. I completed this house, but unfortunately I have 2 windows that are closed.
I love that.
At the end of the game, whoever has the most closed windows is going to lose 1 point per closed window that they have. All right, so now that I've completed a house, I'm going to choose from one of these scoring cards. You have a bunch of different ones. These 4 right here are your... they're your tourist, and these are the inhabitants. I'm going to take a tourist, which is going to give me 1 point.
And while Dean's picking those, I will mention that the tourists have multiple cards of each, and the inhabitants do not. So
in a 2-player game, that's right, yeah. And then for this one, it's going to give me 1 point for every flower that I have in this house. These ones, the tourists have to do with the house that you're looking at, and then the inhabitants have to do with like lots of different ways of scoring points. All right?
All right, I do not have one, so, oh well.
Kind of
Anticlimactic?
Yeah, a little bit.
All right, well, I guess you can have that kitty.
All right, let's say you want to play through maybe one more round of this,
Sure.
John? This gives you a good idea of how everything plays out.
I need a blue.
That's
Yeah,
exactly what
okay.
you
Hey,
needed.
just don't take that one so I can show people, okay?
Oh, well, that's what you want. I would hate to do
Come
that.
on, this is for Meepletown, bro.
Actually, I'm looking at starting a new house anyway, and these are really good
that's
ones.
a nice one.
So I'll take these and just take
That's
one
a nice
coin.
one. Okay. All right, so I will take this one instead of 2, and I'll get 2 coins. All right.
It's possible that I didn't pay to place my card earlier. Maybe. I'm just going to throw one in there, just in case.
That's how you won last time.
So I win every time.
That's it. All right, so I'm placing 1, which is going to cost me 1, and
I will place both of these, and it'll cost me 3, and I'll just slide these over a little bit since we're finishing this up.
so I have the thought of I can grab 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That'll be worth 10. Whoa, just knock that off. It'll be worth 10 points if I do this. Though I will say I really like to grab some of these because there's only one of those, but I just don't think I can pass 10 points up. I can't.
10 plus the 2 that you get from the...
Yeah, from the bottom here,
From
so
the
that'd be
card,
worth 12. Yeah, I just can't pass up. Plus, there's not another one of those, so
12 is a decent amount of points per card. If you
it ain't too shabby.
All right, so that is walking in Burano. Now, just to give you an idea, we would build out 5 more houses that would trigger the end of the game, and then each one of these scoring cards that we would have taken, you add those up, and then you get some other points and potentially lose some points, and that is the entire game.
Yeah, and I mean, Dean mentioned like these right here, the inhabitants. These are tourists. Sorry, the tourists are going to score in the column. These are for rows, which are kind of interesting. So like this one will score 1 for each person in a row. This one will score 1 for each roof. And
3 for each roof.
3 for each roof. Sorry, in a row. This is going to score for the lights, and this will score for different like the combo of blue and red awnings. So yeah, a lot of interesting calls that you're making with those inhabitants up there, brother.
All right, let's get to the art and components. You want to start with that?
Okay, so for the art and components, I told Dean this earlier. I think that the art's not bad. I really like the art on the box. We should have showed this earlier at the beginning of the game.
Right.
I really like the art on this box. I think it's quite nice. Here we go. Everyone checking out the art there. I think it's nice. I think the art I like how colorful it is. I think that's pretty cool. But one thing that I don't love about it is for some reason when I'm looking at like the inhabitants, which are up here, and the tourists, I kind of get this like 1990s Yahoo Avatar vibe, and I don't know why. Maybe that's just me. So I don't really love that about it. I think overall the art is okay.
Yeah, I like the art much better than what John does. I get what he's saying, but it's still
it doesn't bother you.
Well, it's not that it doesn't bother me, but I actually like it. I think it's good because
he's still sporting his Yahoo Avatar all the time now, right?
Maybe that's why I still enjoy it. But no, the thing that I really, really love about the game is when you've completed your row houses and then you look and it's pretty. Like it just looks really cool on the table, and I really enjoy that part of it. So nothing to complain about for me. The
cards
coins,
are decent.
The coins are cool. They're like shiny coins. Yeah, the cards are decent quality. I don't have anything to complain about.
They're not incredible quality either. They're decent.
I mean, they could be cardboard. They could be plastic. They're great. They're great quality. All right, so gameplay, that's what we're going to talk about now. Gameplay, I really, really enjoy the gameplay. I love the tension in the card drafting. I think that's a lot of fun for me. And one thing I've realized about myself is I enjoy when you're picking your own scoring cards. I like that.
That's fun.
And there's tension in that because you might think, okay, I want to hold off for a better card to complete this house to get more points. But the problem with that is if you wait, then somebody might come behind you and take the scoring card that you really, really want to get. And so I love how that tension plays out. And I don't think this game is like Point Salad, although you're drafting. But the thing that I compare it to and like about it is when you take those scoring cards and you're determining how you're going to score. your tableau.
The first time I played this, I did have point salad-y feels with the game, so I don't think that's incorrect, because you're taking cards, and you're also taking cards for your tableau or whatnot, plus you're taking your scoring cards, so it's kind of got some of those similar feels. My favorite part about the game is what you said, is getting your own scoring tiles and trying to think through what's the most advantageous. Also pushing your luck in this game, because you may take this awning, but you've only got 4 points at the moment, but you're hoping to get more later on as the game progresses. And that leads to some interesting calls too, because you may take different cards like this and so choose to like hold it off to the side, because maybe later on it might be beneficial, it might not, because I'm really hoping for some awnings, but I'm not really sure. So I think those are interesting. I like the way the scaffolding works as well. Yeah. That's a cool touch to an otherwise, I don't want to say that adds something different a little bit than just putting cards in a tableau and stuff. So I like that. I think that's really nice as well.
It can get kind of mathy in all of that. Like you can kind of lose sight of the game, because you're just so honed in on like the mathiness part of it. Because like I mentioned earlier, you can break the rule by paying 3 points that you lose at the end of the game. But if you do that, it might gain you 4 points. And so you can get really caught in the math. And if that's not your thing, this might not be a game for you.
Sure.
The other thing is, this is more of an art and component thing, which isn't a complaint, but I could see this being an issue. There's a lot of symbols on these cards. And I think that you can potentially get overwhelmed. This is not an overwhelming game, but looking at all these scoring cards and all the symbols on here, like, wait, what does that symbol mean on the card? I think that could be an issue. It hasn't been for me, but I could see it being an issue.
I remember the first time I played, I had to think through and reference and ask you at least several times about those. But the second time I played, I remember just thinking, okay, I've got it now.
Yeah.
Like it's not bad at all. I will say this too about the gameplay. Like the gameplay overall didn't wow me personally. I think Dean likes this game a little bit better than I do. So I'm gonna compare it a little bit to Point Salad to maybe better express my thoughts. What I like about Point Salad better than this game is that it's something I can play with anybody. I can throw this on the table with my parents, with my wife's parents, with anyone, teach them the game in a few minutes, a minute maybe, and we're ready to rock and roll. This kind of goes into like a little bit heavier, like if I'm a little bit heavier, and honestly, I might personally rather play this. But I feel like I don't know how many times I'm going to get this game to the table, because it kind of goes into that like kind of middle ground of, it's not like there's a lot of other games I would rather play, and it doesn't kind of scratch that gateway or quick game itch. I don't, sure. I hope that I'm expressing myself well. So like I just felt as I played this game, it's a good game. I'm enjoying it, but it's nothing that's wowing me and nothing I'm overly excited about.
Okay. Well, go ahead and get into your...
Well, okay, I can use it. So I'll say that for the people that skip forward and look at our final thoughts. So my thoughts are, I enjoy playing this game. I enjoy the decisions with the scaffolding, and mostly I enjoy the decisions with how you're scoring. But again, there's something about the gameplay that just, I guess just taking a couple of these, thinking through some of the thoughts, for me, it just didn't wow me. It seems like, I don't know. There's other games that I would rather play than this. I think it's solid. I think it's a good game. I'm going to give this a 6.5 out of 10. This is one I almost gave a 7, which is that's that borderline. I think whenever I hit
this is a high score for that type.
It is. So I don't. Yeah, it's kind of a shorter game, which is another plus actually. I do like how this is like a 30-minute game or so.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give it 6.5, but it really was borderline on 7. I think there are going to be people that really like this game. I feel like it's just going to kind of fall into I probably won't play it again much, and I don't know if I would really... There's just other games I'd rather play. You know what I mean? There's an onslaught of games out there, and it doesn't really stand out for me.
Okay.
But it's a fine game.
I'll say there are other games that I would rather play than this too, but not a lot maybe. I really enjoy that.
Really?
I really enjoy this one a lot. For this style of game, sometimes I just want a game where I just feel like I'm... relaxed, hanging out, walking in Burano, going on a nice, smooth walk.
Walking in Burano.
That's what this game feels like. Not like that. This game feels like a nice, just enjoyable time.
A nice cup of tea.
I give this one an 8. And for this style of game, I think that's really high. It's not Point Salad. I'm sorry, maybe I locked us in on that, but it's not Point Salad. But I do rate Point Salad higher. But this one it's got more meat to it, which I really enjoy. I really like the scoring. I love the drafting. It's got a lot of things that I really enjoy. So this is a game that I'm not going to turn a play down of, and I think it's a really good game. I enjoy
And
it.
it's cheap, right, Dean? Like I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's like $20 or something, right?
Yeah,
Something
yeah,
like that.
$25 or
So I mean, that's another positive. I would say for sure, especially if you're wrestling with, should I get this? Should I not? It's not much.
Yeah,
Give it a shot.
That's right. All right, so that is an 8 for me, and that's a 6.5 for John. Tell people how they can get in touch with us.
If you're enjoying our channel, we would love for you to subscribe to it. Even click on the bell if you want notifications for when we're coming out with new videos. We have a podcast that's on iTunes and Google Play and Spotify and all that good stuff. Just search Meepletown. Also search Meepletown Games on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and we are Board Game Geek Guild 3407.
Thanks for coming down to Meepletown. Thanks for joining us, and be sure to follow us on Twitter at Meepletown Games, and connect with us on the Meepletown Guild number 3407 at BoardGameGeek.com, and also subscribe to our podcast and YouTube channel. And until next time, thanks for coming down to Meepletown.